So today, week 1, our objective is I will be able to create a 2-point perspective with a vanishing point, guidelines, and horizon line and shape. So we're just taking that shape from our past lessons and we're going to put it into this one. And then we're going to use the same things that we did last week for the 1 point, but now we're going to add another point to make it 2 points. So to start, I've given you a grid. So these are guidelines and you can actually see them just to make it a tad bit easier. Also, because this, you don't need to use rulers now. You can just go and use all these guides. So I have a pencil and I'll be passing around an eraser like I normally do. So you don't need to erase right away. You'll be using pencil to start out. And then I might use markers so that you can see better. So to start out at a level 0, my class is going to draw the horizon line, and that's right in the middle this time. And I'm just drawing the horizon line like so, right here on the middle line. And you can see that it's dark enough for you to see, but I'm also going to draw it a little thicker with a marker so you can see it. So while I'm doing that, if you know what you're doing, it's where the 2 points are right here. You're going to draw a straight line for your horizon line. Mine's a lot thicker because I'm using a marker so you can see it. So if you are done drawing that horizon line, just give me a thumbs up. My class, it's right in front of me. Just give me a thumbs up. All right, we are good. So now I'm going to draw our 2 points, our vanishing points. We had 1 vanishing point last time when we did perspective. This time we're going to have 2. So we're just going to make those thicker on the edges of our paper. There's 1 here and 1 here. So make those vanishing points thicker. And just give me a thumbs up when you're done. So thumbs up. All right, so we can move forward. So as of now, when we look at our objective, I will be able to use 2-point perspective. We have the 2 points, point, point. Those are the vanishing points. I will be able to use the vanishing point, so we've done that. I will be able to use guidelines. We have our guidelines, and we're going to go and we're going to use those guidelines in a specific way. And then we have our horizon line. That's that thick line in between. And then we're using our shape. So I'm going to do a check right now. I'm going to stop this and make sure that everybody has their points, their vanishing points, their horizon line, and they're okay with looking at the grid. So walking around to see that. And we are back. All right, so guidelines. Guidelines are making our life easier because they are allowing us to see where the straight lines are here and how that would help us do a 3D kind of perspective. So I'm going to move this, our objective right here, and I am going to draw a V using the guidelines. So it is 1 guideline going straight up like this and 1 guideline going straight down like that. Now I used a marker. You're going to use a pencil so you can erase. So everyone do that and just give me a thumbs up when you're ready to go. All right, so we have some thumbs up. So now I'm going to take my pen, my marker, you're going to take your pencil, and I'm going to draw a straight line down right to the horizon line. I'm going to draw another line on the right and another line on the left. And you can use your guidelines. There's straight guidelines going down. So now I want you to see exactly what we have. So I am going to outline it in a different color. This will be my first building. And I'm outlining it so you can see. There it is, because I'm not going to erase. In fact, I might color it in for you so you can see it. There it is, my first building. Now my second one, I'm going to make over to the right. I'm going to use a pencil now because you kind of get the gist. I'm going to use the next line over. You don't have to. You can do your building somewhere down, like move it over a little bit, but you need 2 lines over here. I'm using the guides. 2 lines over here. I'm using the guides. So when everybody's ready, just give me a thumbs up that they have 2 lines over here. You have your 3 lines and your 2 lines. All right. So I am going to draw, I'm going to go all the way up on my guide. I'm going to draw over a straight line. And you can see that building. Now you can see it. It's right in here. There it is. Now I'm going to draw another line. I'm going to save a space and draw another line. And then I'm going to draw another line next to that using these guides. Once I have those 2 lines, I travel my pencil to the top of the guide and I just go across. There's my buildings. Now I'm going to use symmetry this time. So I'm going to do that on my left side. So I'm going to save a space and I'm going to do a line. And then I'm going to use 2 spaces this time and I'm going to draw a line. Once I'm done that, I'm going to travel my pencil up all the way to the top of the guide and then just go over. Now, for those of you that need help, I'll be working with you one-on-one. But for those of you who are okay with it, you can draw your other building right here at the end and then draw it over. And you can see those buildings pop out. So, trying to do the windows, that would be our next bet. But I'm going to pause here and I'm going to look around to see if everyone has buildings going down. Now, do you need to be perfect and have every building be 3D? You can draw tall buildings going down this way and then we could just end up doing windows. So there's 2 ways of doing it. I allowed you to do that for 1-point perspective. I'm going to allow you to do that for 2-point perspective. So I'm going to check to make sure that you have used your guides now. When looking at the objective, we're going to do another checkpoint. And I want to make sure that you have used your vanishing points, those 2 points. You've used your horizon line. Now you've used your guidelines when making these buildings. So the buildings are going down this way. Okay? I'm also going to take questions and I'm going to walk around and do a check. So we used our guidelines now. And we've created shape. We have rectangles. We have cubes. All right. So we have everything that is in our objective now. And I'm going to just do a check with my clipboard. And we're going to move on. So we're going to stop it now. All right. Good to be back. So those of you who are doing this at home, you can fast forward and you can stop it at any point just so that you can see how I did it. I'm going to outline these buildings so you can see them even more. So I have a line here that goes straight, and here are my buildings. All right. I am going to draw windows now. When drawing windows, just like with 1-point perspective, we are going to draw the windows and we're going to take a look at how the roof is. If the roof of the building is on a slant, then your window is on a slant. So if the roof of my building is on a slant this way, how is the tops of my windows going to be? Are they going to be straight or are they going to be a slant? I'm going to take a question. I'm going to make a question of this towards my students. So I'm going to pause. And we're back. That is correct. Your windows are going to be on a slant. And you can use those guidelines. It's kind of like when I'm looking at these squares around it from these guidelines, I can see how my windows are supposed to be. I'm following the lines. If I do a door, that's how I do a door. I'm going to fast forward this just to get all these windows in and start coloring. But, and I'm going to fast forward these windows. But I do want to say, if the roof is going straight across like this, how would the top of the windows be? And pause. All right, so they said it would be straight across, and that is correct. So we got 2 windows here. We're going to speed this up. Down. So we can actually take some of these guides and use them as sidewalks. So I'm going to outline my sidewalks for you. All they are those same, I'm using these guides. And here I have my sidewalk already. So I would just draw the sidewalk. And you can draw yours however you want. There's no wrong, no right. I'm also going to have some trees. So just showing how they would be, because they're right at the top of, but as the trees get closer to the larger building, they become larger. So we're going to talk about that. What's larger? This tree would be very large. I'm drawing it in purple because I want you to be able to see it. The tree would be in front of the building. It would be pretty large, but I don't want to draw it completely. So I see these trees, they'll get smaller as you go towards the vanishing point. And they're not the best trees. I'm not drawing the best trees. I just want to give you an idea. I am going to use some green so you can see that. And here's my tree. Okay, there would be some tree leaves over here in front of the building. And then my tree would be going down. These trees would get smaller as they go towards the vanishing point. And it's nice you have these guides. One more question for this class, and that is, if I drew some clouds, where would they, if I wanted to draw some clouds back here, would they be smaller or larger? And pause. That is correct. We would have some small clouds in the background here. And if we drew a cloud over here, it would be larger because it's closer to the larger building and it's away from the vanishing point. So at this time, I want you to draw and figure out your buildings the way you want them to be. Build your community. What will your buildings look like around you? I know that some of our blocks do have, I know in my area, we have some row homes too. And so draw how they would look in your area. So here would be these brown brick buildings in my area and some of my area. So draw yours how you would want yours drawn. But remember, we're looking at scale. So we've already used that horizon line, just like we did on our objective, going back to the objective. We used our horizon line. We did our vanishing points. We have guidelines in front of us, which we've been using the whole time. And we have those cube-like rectangle shapes. So I'm going to do another check, walk around, make sure I'm answering questions. But if you need, you can watch me draw the rest of this and color it in just to give you ideas. But if you already know what you want to do, then you can move forward. So I hope you guys have fun.